Nothing like bacon in the morning. Oh, wait. That's not AM. That's PM. So what's up, guys? It's Nick at Chestnut Hills Farmstead. What am I doing cooking bacon so late in the evening? Well, it could be breakfast for dinner, which we do a lot, but it's not. I am prepping the pan. You've been asking for it, so we're getting ready to do cornbread. Now, that may not make sense to some of you because, no, my nickname is not Cornbread, even though we do have some viewers that call me that. Jokingly, I don't remember if it was in a live or one of our long-form videos, I said that I don't like to be on camera because I literally sound like cornbread. Well, that had made it into our merch shop. It's on a t-shirt that says, I sound like cornbread. So that's how that came about. And we've had a lot of people requesting it. I've had suggestions about doing cook-offs. Now, I'm sorry if some of you will be disappointed, but it is not, nor will it ever be a cook-off with me and Miss Brooke. Miss Brooke has her own style of cornbread, and she is a fine cook in her own right, so the last thing I want to do is try to compete with her. The style that she does is a little sweeter. Me being the country boy that I am, I don't care for sweet cornbread, so you asked for how I did mine, and we're going to show you. Now, this won't be a very long video because it's a very simple recipe. We've had a very busy day today. We got up first thing this morning. Zoe and Mackenzie went and took care of chores at the farm while Chance and I sat up here. And we've already processed chickens today. We've got all of them chilling. There's no reason to have a video on that again. We've got a couple on here already. So if you're curious about processing your own chickens, that's something that you can look back and see. But there's no reason to beat a dead horse and continue showing the same content over and over, so we skipped videoing any of that today. Zoe is gone to take Chance to practice for this never-ending baseball season that we're in. So while they're gone, I'm handling getting dinner going so that we could video this part without Rhett insisting on helping or screaming to the top of his lungs or just doing things that Farmer Rhett does. So we're going to go through this real quick. Let's get to it. All right, so we've got a 1/4 cup of butter, 2 large eggs. We're going to add in 2½ cups of buttermilk. Let's give that another ½ cup. One more ½ cup. Then we're going in with a ½ cup of all-purpose flour. This is very simple, guys. And then we want 2 cups of self-rising cornmeal. It has to be self-rising. If it doesn't, you're going to have a very flat pan of cornbread. All right, we're going to give all that a mix, and then I will show you the secret to this. All right, let's make sure we get all this mixed in good. Remember, you got those eggs down in the bottom, and we don't want any clumps. But I was just telling you that I was prepping my pan, right? Well, that's not all there is to it. So we have to have our pan good and hot with the bacon grease already in the bottom. Just enough to cover the bottom. I mean, it doesn't have to be floating, but you do want enough to cover the whole bottom. And then you want to stick it in the oven to preheat. But that's not all we're preheating. Look right over my shoulder here. Does that look familiar to some of y'all? I think this may jog some memories for some of you. Both my grandmothers and my mother kept a grease pot on the stove. Now, back in those days, y'all know how old I am, they were just old percolating coffee pots that they used to strain the bacon drippings out and to be stored for cooking later. Now they actually make pots like this. It's called a grease pot. That's what it's made for. So we're preheating it too, because we're about to do the perfect swirl in our cornbread batter. And if you've been watching us for a while, you've heard the story of the first time Zoe was gonna make cornbread for me, and she pulls that blue and white box out of the cabinet. Well, this is one of the first things I taught Zoe about making cornbread. It's one of the first things my grandmother taught me. And now I'm about to show y'all. Ooh, you hear that good hot bacon grease in there? We're gonna make a swirl right there in the top of the batter. And that's it. For the whole batter, that's all of it. Now, you don't want that grease to start cooking your batter, so give it a good mix. If it started cooking under those swirls, it may be resembling a funnel cake. All right, she's ready to go. Now, I don't want y'all to think I was lying to you. While I was getting my cornbread ready, I had to be a little creative with my camera angles, and I had to set some pots to the side. But we're not just having cornbread. We've got a little bit left from the garden last year. So there's my black-eyed peas and green beans that have been on for a couple hours. Now, don't get me wrong, I can make a meal just off cornbread and a bowl full of milk, but that's for another story. All right, we've got our pan heated up to 425 degrees, and this is very important. I want you to hear this batter going in. Let me turn around where you can see a little better. Need that sizzle, and you can already smell the buttermilk. $425 degrees, guys. I made a mess trying to do that on camera. All right, let's see how she looks. Oh my. Would you look at that? Guys, if it was any prettier than that, you wouldn't be able to stand to eat it. Guys, that's all there is to it. I know how short our time together was today, but that tells you just how simple good Southern cornbread really is. I know we've got viewers all over the place, and you may not even eat cornbread. But I'm going to leave the recipe and the directions in the description on the video. Give it a try for yourself and let me know what you think. Guys, thanks for being with me, and we'll see you next time.
So we just got home, and Daddy's been making
cornbread.
Let's try it. That's good cornbread.
Thanks for watching Chestnut Hills Farmstead. I hope you like watching Daddy make cornbread. Bye.